Well, hey guys, good morning. Big A coming to you live from the Old Hickory Lake. What a great day it is today. It is absolutely a beautiful morning. Hope it's pretty where you're at as well. I grew up on Old Hickory Lake, not like physically on the lake, but fishing this lake since I was born. My dad and I fished it probably every week or every other week until he died in 2006. And this morning, when I got out here, I've been out here since before daylight, kind of getting my day started and just kind of relaxing and enjoying myself a little bit. But as I was fishing some of these banks, I started thinking about my dad. Matter of fact, it almost brought a tear a couple of times when I started thinking about all the experiences that we had had here. And I started thinking about my childhood and what was important, what was not important. And I started thinking about where we lived and how I grew up. And you know, we were middle-class folks that didn't have a whole lot of material possessions. But one thing my dad did right was experiences. He was with the children all the time. My dad had him the correct perspective, work-life balance, as you would call it. My dad knew that working was simply to provide enough money to live our life. And I think oftentimes the guys that I even coach today, when I first start coaching them, they're like, I got to work more, I got to save more, I got to have more money in the bank. And all the time their children are getting older and older and older. And then they end up with the security and they have had no experiences for their kids. And I want to encourage you today to create those experiences for your children. And I think back when my dad was working, I never really thought much about the house we lived in or the car that we drove. But what I could always look forward to was the experiences that my dad created for us on the weekends and the places that we went. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is a place that I'm probably over the top the other way. I'm ultra conservative in most everything that I do. We live in a house that I could afford a much larger house. We drive cars that are nice cars, but we could afford a much nicer car. But one place I spend money is on experiences. And I've done that our entire married life with our children. Our children sit around our table now as adults. They're 31 and 35. And they talk about the experiences, the places that we went, the cruises that we took. And you say, well, Big A, that's easy for you to say you got money. I did that when I didn't have any money. I made a way for those experiences because I knew how important it was to me as a child. And what I'm afraid of is that many of you today are working long hours and you're saving a lot of money and you're putting it aside for that security. And I want to ask you, what do you want that security for if you save all that money and you don't live life? You don't have experiences with your children. I think we're cheating our children today out of experiences. And I'm even going to go as far as to say, be a little bit reckless and extravagant with the experiences for your family. Listen, guys, you only have one chance with those kids. You don't get a do-over. Like, you can make more money. I can make more money. There's plenty of money out there to be made. But I only got one chance with my kids. I don't get to do-over. I don't get to, one day, some of you are going to be laying there on your deathbed and you're going to go, man, I wished we had done this more with my kids. I wished I'd been present more with my family. I wished I'd taken them on that cruise that they've been begging to go on their entire life. But you're too tight because you want to fully fund your 401k and have plenty of money set aside for your own safety and security and well-being at a later time. And here's what's going to happen. Your kids are going to grow up, and if you're fortunate enough for them to come back and have Sunday dinner with you, they're going to have nothing to talk about. They don't care about your fully funded 401k or your IRA, your SEPA plan, or your real estate investments. What they care about is the amount of time that you spent with them, the experience that they had with you as a child growing up. And I don't want you to have those regrets. I want you to go home tonight and I want you to talk to your family and say, how can we have these experiences with our kids? My kids come around all the time now. We have dinners constantly. I have the privilege of working with both of my daughters, see my grandkids all the time. I'm going to spend money doing experiences with my kids. My grandkids are always wanting to know, Big A, are we going to go here? Are we going to take this walk? Are we going to go fishing? Are we going to go on a cruise? Are we going to go on vacation? What are we going to do? They don't care about all my customers. They don't care about the stuff that we have. Guys, listen to me. Seriously, lean in. Listen to me. They care about experiences. And you can afford to do that, many of you. Some of you can't do that. I get that. You can't take the cruises. You can't go on the worldwide tours. I get that. But there are experiences that you can create here that doesn't cost anything. but we wear ourselves out at the office, getting a little bit more money, another business, to gain possessions, to gain a title that don't mean anything. And then you look around one day and you're walking your kid down the aisle to get married, and they go off and they've had no experiences. So what is life worth living if you have a great amount of security and no experiences? I want to encourage you that you're going to look back one day and you're going to say, hey, that old bald-headed man, Big A on the Greenway and on the lake told me that I should do this, and I wish that I had done it. Don't wait, right? We can't look back. It doesn't matter what you did in the past at all. What's important is what you're going to do from today forward. We've even set up a separate bank account. It's a savings account called Vacation, and we put money in that so that we can have these trips. We plan for it. I don't go borrow money to take these trips, but we plan far enough in advance that we can have these experiences. I would just tell you, have a little less house, have a little less car, work a little less time at the office, and plan for some amazing experiences for your kids so that they can look back and have these great memories like I've been able to experience with my dad. Here I am, 57 years old. My dad's been gone now about 12 years, but the memories just resonate. This morning when I put the boat in, I was going down and I thought, man, I wish my dad was sitting here in the boat with me. And I looked at the sunrise and I thought, we used to fish there, we used to fish here. And I remember when my dad took me on this trip and did this thing with me. I want your kids to have those experiences as well. So what are you going to do? Are you going to do it, or are you going to someday have those regrets? Well, the fish are biting this morning, and I've already caught 3. Got a little while longer left, so I guess I better get over here. I'm not taking a walk this morning on the Greenway, but I am taking a ride on the beautiful Old Hickory Lake. Man, isn't it pretty out here this morning? What a great day. Hey, I'm Big A, coming to you live from Old Hickory Lake. Go create some memories and experiences today. I promise you, you won't regret it. We'll see you.